Say have fun in your podcast. Say I love you.
I love you.
Today I rise to tell the story of one of my constituents, Yahi Obed. Mr. Obed was born in Yemen and came to the United States when he was 8 years old. His childhood dream was to become a pilot, and he knew and felt that in the United States all things are possible, and his dream could come true. Mr. Obed's dream did come true. He's been a federal employee for 14 years, has 2 children, and a mortgage for his home in the Morris Park neighborhood of the Bronx. He studied hard, got his pilot's license, and is now an air traffic controller supervisor at John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York City. I spoke with Mr. Obed today over the phone. He and air traffic controllers like him across the country missed their first paycheck this past week. He was telling me about how stressful his job is. Every single day, air traffic controllers have thousands of people's lives in their hands. With weather changes, flight delays, staffing complexities, and a myriad of other issues, their days almost never go exactly to plan. His job is to find solutions, analyze and adapt in real time to keep people safe in one of the busiest airspaces in the United States and the world. And it is terrifying to think that almost every single air traffic controller in the United States is currently distracted at work because they don't know when their next paycheck is coming. Federal workers' jobs are stressful enough. The rise in New York City's cost of living is stressful enough. The fact that Mr. Obed's family cannot be reunified due to fears over the Muslim ban is stressful enough. His several $1,000 a month Bronx mortgage is stressful enough. The anti-immigrant sentiment of this administration is stressful enough. And the truth of this shutdown is that it's actually not about a wall. It is not about the border, and it is certainly not about the well-being of everyday Americans. The truth is...
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Nigga Rockin' Podcast, I-70 Connect. I'm the KC Stork. Oh, back in the house. Hey, welcome back. 30 Pieces, what's going on, man?
Hello, I'm making a special guest presentation or feature on my own,
podcast. I look at the screen, so you come in live. I'm not gonna say nothing. And also, we only got one half of the troublesome duo, the Twin Towers of Power, the Brothers of Doom. Joe Jeff, what's going on, pimp?
Man, just glad to see Frank back on the pod, man.
Glad to see him back.
Man, miss you, dude.
Nah, hey, but I want to send a quick shout out to the Twin Towers of Doom, because they did hold me down when I was editing the last episode. You know what I'm saying? They found a real need. I felt like I was really needed in the group.
I guess.
I found my place in the group.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we 2 men short, but always ready to come with the real. James and 10 meters out doing their thing. We'll see you brothers next week. Yeah, so we started off the show with a nice little speech from Representative Alexandria. Am I saying this right? Ocasio-Cortez. Otherwise known as the notorious AOC. I mean, it was her first speech to the House of Representatives. So I mean, that was I mean, Congress, whatever, House Representatives, same difference. And to be so young, I mean, that was pretty moving, even though it's a little dated. As you see, she was talking about the shutdown, but with this president, you never know.
you know, one thing I want to chime in real quick with the shutdown. I think a lot of this last shutdown, I don't know if it was the Trump effect or what it was, but I feel like, and I also know because it directly impacted a lot of people that normally wouldn't be affected by a shutdown. You know, people in the FBI, people in the CIA, Border Patrol, Department of Homeland, which includes the Coast Guard.
Frank, fuck all that.
Yeah.
What about my taxes, nigga? They late.
Hey, they said they were gonna leave people at IRS like working overtime, even if the government did shut down again, to make sure that people are gonna receive their refunds. I don't know. I haven't filed yet, which is out of the norm. It just I know that I'm not gonna get I'm probably gonna pay into it again this year.
Everyone's getting screwed.
So I know I'm purposely waiting because I mean I don't have the money right now. So
you ain't got it.
I ain't got it, bro.
You ain't got it. You ain't got it.
I ain't got it.
We getting ahead of ourselves, man. But we'll go around top of the key. So actually, what's going on, Joe? What's been going on with you, man?
Man, first week of practice. Just trying to get the new routine going.
All right. So how's it looking? How's it looking this year as far as track? Too early to tell.
We got some work to do.
Got some work to do.
But there's some talent in there. So
okay.
We'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, hopefully as the season progresses, we'll be getting some updates and getting some good news as far as like districts and sectionals and state and all that good stuff. And invitational meets and all that good stuff. Getting some athletes to place pretty high, making Coach Joe Jeff look good. And y'all, and if you listen to the show, if your form is fucked up or you need some running tips for a nominal fee, Coach Joe Jeff will get you right.
Hey, CTC,
get it right.
Is that our first promotion there, Joe? Is that our first sponsor?
Hey, I take the money.
Are you the official track and field of the Nicaraguan podcast?
Official track and field. That's what I'm talking about. We need to cut a video where we just have like on some Black Dynamite shit where it's like just one obvious slow light skinned cat that's running, and then like we fast forward to supposed to be the same dude, but now some dark skinned dude running real fast on some real crazy shit
on a fake ass wig.
Due to my proven technique,
dude,
come and join me for a wonderful experience in track.
Hey, no, why you sound like Buckwheat's daddy, dude?
You sounded real problematic there.
I can show you. We can take you from this to this.
You gotta have like weird like cheetah sounds in the background. Wow,
niggas like that magical sprinkle sound.
All right, what's been up with you, Frank? Man, what's been going on, man?
Nothing here, just doing some bowling. I've been posting that on Instagram. Just trying to do a couple of tune-ups before we go down to the Nationals in Vegas. So,
are you going to Vegas?
Yeah, we're going. We're gonna. That's the end tournament of the season, basically. And we'll see. This time, last time was just for fun. Now is actually we're trying to actually compete and trying to place because we have the talent now.
So if you placed, does that come out of your pocket to go, or do?
We all pay. You basically pay your entrance fee,
right?
And then if you're lucky enough to place, I think the national tournament is a little bit. I mean, it's a little wider payout. Right. Wider group gets paid out. Right. The tournament that we just did in Wichita, right now we're in 8th place as a team. If we stay, I think inside top 20, we'll get our entry fee back.
Okay.
Break even. Like if we stay in the top 10 right now,
yeah,
we might, that's a nice little chunk of change coming back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You gonna join the tour, man?
Nah. It ain't that serious.
Now you got the crazy little mitt, the little crazy hand grip, nigga. You got that joint?
Some people do. Hey,
I said, do you?
No, I don't. I can still grip the ball.
You still grip the balls? Yeah. That's how you do? Because you grip the balls?
Yeah.
You good at it?
You're waiting for that one, though.
I wasn't waiting for it, motherfucker. You just came out of nowhere. Everybody know what you into. You was in the grip of the ball.
I said I wasn't into it. You were the one that brought up the whole hand.
The what?
The hand bracelet.
No, you said I still grip the balls.
Frank, so do you prefer a heavy ball?
You probably got an all black ball, nigga. You don't want no stripes, nigga. I'm on all black ball. I don't want nothing to get in the way of it.
Yeah,
you probably got no holes in your ball. You just roll that motherfucker.
We got 3 holes in the balls.
Yeah, you know you don't. You ain't
I got 3 holes.
You ain't got no hole in your ball, nigga. You just gripping it.
Nah, but anyway, so we got the baby shower tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Frank, I got another question, man. Here
We go. Hold on. Let me set it up. Let me get the soundboard ready.
Oh, God. Oh, fuck no.
What do you do when your balls get dirty, man?
Do you dip them? Are you a dipper?
I know you're being funny, but technically I do clean my balls with alcohol. I do carry them home. I carry and clean my balls.
So you give your balls a whole bath? You don't even give a full shower. You just
to wipe down.
Wipe it down.
A little dusting.
Wipe it down. So here once again, Nigga Round Podcast, man. We got all kind of shit, man. We get your speed right. We get you gripping the balls right with Frank's Kung Fu. You got them Jim Kelly.
You come bowl with me, I will have you bowling like a pro in 2 days.
2 days.
2 days.
Hey,
money back guaranteed.
You got the Jim Kelly hand grips, nigga.
Shit.
I guess to me ain't much shit going on, man. Same old work, and then slowly but surely get my black ass up out of this United States Army. I am. What is it? So we in March, April, May, June, July. Woo! Almost free. About to get my freedom papers, y'all. That's about it.
Give us free.
Yeah, they had your boy. Nigga, it is the weekend. Ain't no way on a Saturday my black ass should be getting up at 4:30 in the motherfucking morning on a Saturday. Unless we under attack. And none of that happened. So, yeah.
All right, well, and I guess you mentioned that and you touched on it a little bit earlier. Well, mentioned it. It's March 2nd. Black History Month is over, but it's always Black History Month, like Joe and Jeff just said a couple episodes ago.
Joe and James, my bad. So these your only 2 black friends?
3.
3. Damn.
4 with 10 meters.
Damn, you counting us?
Duh. But we'll get into that. Wow, what a segue.
Hey, that's a good point. I've never seen more than 2. Now this is the first time I've seen 2 black people in your house.
Yeah. No, when you guys came over, when we partied all the time.
Who was it? Who?
I guess either Givens and
you're right.
And Medina.
You're right. Medina's like half.
He's like me.
Yeah, he's just dark skinned.
Okay.
He don't count.
Well, I mean, I don't really work with too many. Well, I got a couple friends that are co-workers.
Easy, slow down, dog. You starting to sound like Tommy.
We don't. Like I don't work. I don't work with a lot of people of color in our office, like in the government. It's ridiculous.
You should run for Congress. They'll elect you.
Anyway, we're good. That was a good segue.
Actually, that's why we started the show off with Notorious ALC. This is Women's History Month. So if you've been listening, which you should be listening, we've been trying to, start off with a couple of speeches here and there. And some of the feedback we got, like some of the people didn't know these speeches existed or never heard them before. And it just leads to people trying to, dig into a little deeper as far as like the speaker. And then from there, the awakening of knowledge, nothing wrong with that. But yeah, back to the segue that we started.
All right. So, well, before we go to the segue, let's start it off with
and unfortunately, we just talked about Women's History Month. This in no way reflects about how. Anyway, let's play the video, dog. And also the video, as always, the video. Well, as they should be. We'll do a better job of that. The videos links will be in the show notes.
Yeah, I'll put it up there. Yep. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, the soundbite.
And I heard that on Nancy Pelosi. Talking about we're not going to give the president a blank check.
No, we're not. We're not going to give him a blank check. No.
I'm sorry, Miss Nancy.
Uh-huh.
He didn't ask you for a blank check.
No, he didn't.
He asked you for $5.7 billion so that we can build the wall.
That's right. That's
God damn it, these bitches should have been in the Coonies, dog. And one more? My bad. I hate these bitches.
We'll do one more because I don't think we played. We played the wrong one.
You played the wrong one.
I played the wrong one.
This is we. We in France.
I thought this was our podcast.
Now when you click the button, nigga.
So here's my thing, you all. When they try to play the race card, I want you all to stand up and you play the Trump card so that we can win.
Only racists and niggas who love racists use the term race card, nigga. That's what I found out. That's the only thing I know.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of humor in this, and I do want to get Joe to chime in because you've been awfully quiet while we've been playing.
He's probably
disgusted.
Women. Well, if you don't know those voices by now, these are Diamond and Silk. These two.
Explain them,
women. But here's the thing, though. Like, we'll let Joe chime in. Then we can because I've been for the life of me this whole week trying to dig up history on them, and there's really nothing about them prior to Donald Trump running for president. It's kind of almost like. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, that's where they got their public start.
Yep.
I don't know what they did before, and but they have hit the spotlight because they are coons for hire.
Coons for hire. It's like even with Candace. Go ahead, my bad.
No, go ahead.
Even with your homegirl, your most beloved, your boo, Candace Owens, even there's documented footage of her, tweets of her, video of her being against the Republican Party prior to Donald Trump coming into the forefront. These two literally came out of nowhere. And they do you got to see the video because in their voices you don't really. And they have a little talk show they got on their Fox's online thing that you can subscribe to if you love to see that kind of bullshit. And if you do, I don't know why you listen to us. That's really weird. But yeah, it's some good Aunt Jemima coonery going on. The visuals are what get you. So that's why I said you really need the voices. You can kind of hear that kind of like are these bitches being comedians? But if you go and see the videos that they have posted, you get the full. It'll make you a little upset, just a little bit.
Should we go and visit the website?
They cartoon versions of black people, man.
Yeah, for sure.
They cartoon versions, man. They out here trying to ham it up, and they doing it. They stepping and fetching for the master.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, Trump card if you want.
And one of our friends, Nelson, she listens to the show, and she wanted to say, "Oh, you have a fan, Joe." Nelson, she's one of our friends. She's a soldier in my unit, and she listens to the show, and she was like, "I don't know who the guy is he's so knowledgeable about history and stuff." And I was like, told her, history teacher, blah blah blah, and he's very, very into it, very very intelligent. So you have a fan out there because of your love and your knowledge of history. So I want to let you know I'm supposed to pass that message on to you. But also, how we take for granted some of the things we talk about the show is just just common knowledge. She had never really heard the term coon. So we were talking about that today when we had some downtime at drill. And,
Really?
Huh?
Never heard the term coon.
Well, not used in that way. Like coon as in raccoon, but never cooning.
But yeah, never in that context.
Never in that context. That's what and she's a pretty upfront, and Frank will vouch for her. She's just a pretty upfront person. And it's like she's one of those what you see, what you get kind of people. So I don't think she was lying to me about that. And I was like, really? You never heard that? She was like, no, not to the show. And she was asking me so.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think it's just the speech part. She probably knows. She's heard of the word coon.
Well,
not in the context of like that racial connotation.
Yeah,
Okay,
but like I'm saying, that's why like me and Joe and you to a certain we take it as common knowledge,
right?
So when someone was like a soldier who's she's a very smart person. And once again, Frank will. Yeah. She's a smart person to say, "Well, I never heard you using that way." I'm like, "What, really?" And she's like, "Well, thanks to your show, I now know what that means." I was like, "Wow."
Yeah. But okay. So
all the way lost last week, bro.
Huh?
She must have been all the way lost last.
Oh yeah, so yeah. We talked. Yeah, we even had a discussion about like the Magic Negro. She's like, "Well, I've seen these movies. I just never knew that. They were." That was actual tropes. It was like, wow, we're like doing our part to having this awakening of knowledge, to a whole other generation of people. Because she's what, in her 20s? She's in her 20s?
27, 28?
Yeah, late 20s. So
we're here, telling a young, smart, bright woman her age out here, but, we're just guessing.
Come on, she don't care. She don't care. You know her.
Well, give us 5 stars, Nelson.
She said, she said she would go to iTunes and give us a review. Anyway, so getting back on point. Sometimes we talk about these things and we think that it's just this common knowledge type of thing. But I was using her to make an example that sometimes we bring stuff up that people have no awareness of, or how, especially like minorities, because she's for the most part is not a minority, but how minorities view it and see it.
Yes, she is. She's half Hispanic, half Mexican.
But she looks. Come on.
But then there's that question. It's like, just like how Joe and James were talking about.
You're right.
When we're talking about like with me. Do I consider myself black, even though I'm like, Caribbean or Latin American? My roots can go to the slaves that were in the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyhow, yeah. So.
Yes. Hold it. No, we get back to that.
My bad.
So you know what? You're okay. She is a minority. Okay, but as she would present to you, just from seeing her, you wouldn't. But that once again, that shouldn't be however she defines herself. There we go.
Sure. Yeah.
There we go. We'll go with that. We'll go with that for now.
Women's Month.
But as far as us, as minorities who use this language and see this stuff and deal with it on a daily and see how it affects us and see how when we see, people once again selling out, as we call it, selling out the race just to get it for the most part a check. Because like we said like many episodes ago, we said time and time again, don't nothing get you paid like shitting on black people, especially when it entertains white people. No? Yes?
I guess, I just thought about, and I'll be interested to see if you guys want to expand on it, but so how is it different? How is blackface different? I know we're not in Black History Month, and there was a lot of bullshit that happened with the blackface and all.
Every month is Black History Month.
Yeah.
Every month.
But fuck that. But as far as recognized,
every month Latino History Month. Every month is every.
Yeah.
I hear you, Joe. But we taking half of July. So these motherfuckers have fucked us over with all this blackface shit all February.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, in reference to all this bullshit, all the blackface videos that happen to just fucking come out of nowhere, out of the woodwork, and just be more public or made more notice or whatnot. So how's that different? Because I genuinely believe that this soldier didn't, and we know her personally. So I can attest to what you're as her character or whatnot. I genuinely believe that she never heard the word coon in that specific like part of speech. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if I was to tell you, I didn't until I saw me and you started fucking around with each other and shit, like bouncing back ideas.
Yeah.
And there's things that you kind of brought me to light. But the blackface, what if I told you the blackface thing, like, it was never prevalent in my mind. I never really saw it like that. You know what I'm saying? As like, maybe those, I'm just saying, like, I'm just using that as an example, though. So, like, because I genuinely believe.
Are you an example, or is that something that
No, just an example, because I genuinely believe her. And, there was a couple articles.
You're saying two different things, though, where, like.
Well, there's some white people out here that generally probably believe don't think that. Who's to say that they don't genuinely believe that blackface is a quote unquote bad thing to them?
Right, but
and again, I said to them too.
To the thing, but saying like I've never heard the word cooning that way, and then to paint my face black and pretend to be a black person aren't the same thing as far as like, yeah, acceptable ignorance to me. Because like the one thing to say, there's raccoons, coons. I never heard. I've spent all my life around like white people for the most part. I've never heard cooning or shucking and jiving in such a way. But to me,
but you know what I'm trying to say, that it's not. It's similar. It's not the same. It's not the same. You're right. It's not. It's similar in the sense that it's the genuineness of somebody's like current belief or knowledge of. Because even on the Black Guy Who Tips, I heard Rob with Randolph Terrence on his one-on-one. He talked that there was a white boy that he played ball with, but and he said he genuinely never believed that the rebel flag. He never saw it, or it never talked to him in that negative way because of his environment. You know what I'm saying?
No, but his environment. But even in his environment, there were historical depictions of white people in blackface mimicking.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. That what I'm saying is, I don't think everybody sees it as a mimicking.
And where would you get that? And where did they get that idea from to paint themselves in blackface in that same exact way? Where does that come from? So when people plead ignorance, especially that, I kind of look at them crazy. Like, where'd you get this fucking idea from? This is okay.
True. That's the other side of the argument too. Yeah.
How you feel about that, Joe?
I think people. I don't know. I think we give people too much credit sometimes, man. I think some people are stupid, man.
I mean, sometimes the simple answer is the best answer.
That's I
think people don't necessarily engage in a level of metacognition that some other people, engage in. I think we reflect upon the actions that we do, and we see how it enrages us when certain things happen, and then we reflect upon it, and we try to make sure that we do better for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of people out there who just see something and act. It don't go through that reflection piece and don't, put themselves outside of their body and see how other people would, react to them. And they just do it because they thought it was funny or they thought it was cool, or, you know what I'm saying? That everybody around them had a flag. So I ain't think about how it made other people feel. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and I think that's what I was that last point that you made. I think that's what I was referencing. It's like, like in the pregame where I was saying, like, I don't really work like the population that I work with is not. I work for the federal government, but yet I work for a veteran organization. Yet a third of our workforce is not even veteran. You know what I'm saying? And so to say that it really depicts like the population of the United States, it doesn't, because the majority of workers are white males and white females and whatnot. And so that's what I'm saying, like in our daily interactions, unless I'm actually without this podcast, without being friends with Roger, without talking to you or talking to other friends of mine of other cultures, if I don't have that exposure, I may not have that common, like how we have it as common knowledge. Mm-hmm. Like I may not have that. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't walk into another like Hispanic house, you know what I'm saying? Or of another culture, like another Hispanic culture, and use the same slang I use. Because some of that it could be like about, you know what I'm saying? But can I plead ignorance, or can I plead?
I hear something what Joe is saying, where some people are just stupid, but I also think some people just try to plead ignorance at times to get away with some of the bullshit they do.
True.
I think it's like a kind of a 50-50 thing where I can get like if I grew up in the rebel deep South,
right,
and I was taught that they came and took away our rights, and I'm taught it was never about slavery, it was about states' rights and all this other shit. To a certain degree, I get that, but then it's like the other side. We're talking about blackface, I'm more pressed to be like, you need to prove to me how you didn't think what you brought back blackface specifically. You need to prove to me how you thought this was not fucking offensive.
Well, I will say this. I'll point out at the example of Gucci and who was it last year? FMN.
But being insensitive is not the same thing as like ignorance. That's two different things.
But I wouldn't know. That's what I'm saying.
I think Joe's about to say something.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I just think that people insulate themselves with people who look like them.
That too.
True.
And I think that's what Frank was saying. If you don't talk to people of different cultures, you don't have understanding of what other people are going through.
Like, how could I expect
if everybody is echoing the same sentiment that, hey, this flag represents Southern pride, and then nobody around you don't watch any media, your friends on Facebook don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So all the messages that come from you come from the same direction. You don't ever hear that this flag is offensive. You don't ever hear that blackface is offensive. You just think, hey, I like this rapper. I'd like to look at him. He's black. I would like to look black-footed in my costume.
That rap shit, though. That's the first time I ever heard rap, bitch. I know she's getting that, though. That's what old boy, what's that nigga's name, Northrum? But what is his nickname, like Coon something or some shit like that? Didn't that come out? His name, like Mr. Coon or some shit like that? His whole history is fucked up. But anyway,
And by all means, I'm not trying to give them an out or anything. I'm not trying to give them an out or anything. It's just when you mentioned I know this person. I know her character. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, we talk two different things, but she also knows that blackface is not right.
But how can you know blackface is not right, but not the word coon or racist?
She's never heard coon used in that way.
That way, okay.
You're not gonna find like in most history books. Even when I was in high school, history books. My history book talked about now it's such a thing. You don't want to upset anybody. They're erasing everything. But when I was in high school, they talked about blackface a little bit. But
see, they didn't talk about blackface in ours. But
what were you
in South Miami high school? In my high school, we didn't talk about that shit.
Okay, you kind of in the South.
Yeah, I remember we sat down, we watched a video on it one time.
You kind of in the South there though.
It was basically like a one-man play.
Yeah.
Where it was kind of like that scene from Bamboozled.
Correct.
Where the guy was doing like a minstrel show.
Yep.
And it was a black dude, but he was going through the process of what it took to put on blackface and all that thing. So we definitely talked about it in our high school. But to be real clear, unless I'm on the like my mind wanders, I don't talk about it in class. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. Like if something happens and it's like this is topical, I might talk about it then, but I don't make a point to talk about it.
Like in passing, like if it just happens. Yeah, I did that.
Like if something came up in the media, like this whole situation about Gucci. And we were talking about in class, I would stop and I would go through the history of it. I might even show video, but it's not like it's in my lesson plan. You know what I'm saying? So.
True. And I guess what I'm saying is we know the people you interact on a daily basis or the people that you expect in your circle, Roger, and I do too.
Right, and I do
but Gucci is not in our circle. Gucci is global. F&M is global.
Right.
So who are they catering to
once
then?
Again, though, we're in that gray area of ignorance versus insensitivity.
Because a big company and corporation that you know where your dollars are coming from.
I get it. I get it. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
But yet they have the audacity of saying this. We find it offensive at our level, but they didn't find it at the social outreach that they're gonna have and exposure. You know what I'm saying? And they're still able to claim, right or wrong, they're still able to claim ignorance or insensitivity or not meaning to be insensitive at that time. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know you talk about the gray area all the time, and I hate that shit. I hate the gray area because it almost kind of gives you like a cop-out a little bit, almost. But I'm starting to get it, man. Like, there's going to have to be some gray areas sometimes, you know what I mean? It may not be, and it may not be on every... Obviously, every individual is going to...
I ain't giving them gray area on that.
Okay.
No, I'm not doing that. Because, we talked about this on the... What was the company that came out with the coolest monkey in the jungle?
F&M.
F&M, yeah.
F&M. Like, I'm not giving them companies passes because they have chosen, like we said... it's okay. We said this because of insulation. You don't have a friend group or whatever. But when we're talking about corporations, I mean, I think it's widely known that they need to diversify.
Right,
I
because
think that's been made, and so if you don't have people, we make the joke about the brother pushing the mop that's in the boardroom and says, "I wouldn't do that if I were you." It's incumbent upon those companies to have somebody in the boardroom who does not look like them, so they can have, you know.
But let's not forget also though.
To bounce off of. You know, it's Women's History Month. We need to have more women in positions of power. AOC is an example of that. We got the largest freshman class of women in the Congress in history. I mean, we need to see more people of all different types of backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? Rise into institutions. So, if like a company like that, they get no pass. There's no gray area there. If ignorance is, it's like you got caught speeding. Not knowing the speed limit is not an excuse for speeding. You know what I'm saying? So if they get caught putting some buffoonery out there into the public for consumption, ignorance is not an excuse. They need to come with it, and if they didn't do it, that's their own fault for not, studying up. So.
Yeah, but also with the cool smoking, never forget though that the kid's mother, when they went and asked her about it, she was okay with it.
Well, she probably was sitting there in that hearing for Cohen talking about she worked for Trump.
Master Trump been all right with me. Hey, but the thing is though,
right.
She's a HUD employee. Well, I guess she was a HUD employee now at that point in time, but she had worked with him on the campaign trail too. As you can see, she was rewarded.
Let's be clear. We muddied that water. Not the woman who's mother of the child with the monkey.
Yeah, my bad. The woman, I get.
We talking about another.
We talking about Lynn. Was it Lynn Patton? Lynn Patton, who loves to shame niggers for her president. Hold on. What did she say? Race. Go back down. No, right. Keep going up to the headline of the paragraph. No, the headline of the paragraph.
Master Trump can't be racist.
This one?
Well, I thought she said that. Never mind. Yeah.
Down in the fucking lunchroom or something.
Yeah. But that. I mean, I don't know if we. Only we cleared up the fact is that I think that on some things, well, especially not with this big conglomerate, not with like Gucci and shit like that. I think that's just more leaning towards the insensitive side of things more than ignorance, if anything. But yes, like as Joe pointed out, if you're only around a certain section of people, and you only taught history a certain way from those people, then there will be some ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
Period, point blank.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's why they need to be listening to the Nero Rogan podcast.
You need to. I mean, but that's the thing though. Those kind of people, and I mean, those people, is what I said it, aren't going to listen to us.
Right. I mean, and do we want them to be? Do we want them to be?
Well, we had a very important show when we talked about the seed, right? The Dud seed was named the show, and Joe made a very important point of saying that that garden must be tended in the weeds and in the work that goes into that. And we talked about Sergeant Kramer, who's like my mentor, who was beloved to me as a white man from mid Missouri, has members of his family who grew up who were in the Klan, who he came to hate, but before joining the military and being around Hispanic people, black people, Asian people, so his whole life he was taught these people were inferior to, less than, ignorant, lazy, and then when I'm 18, 19 years old, I'm put upon in this society where there are minority people who are working just as hard, who are busting their ass just as hard, who are in charge of me, because the NCO Corps is what? A lot of black people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who are teaching me to be a better person, who are helping me move up the ranks so I can get more money, provide more money for my family. And then, like, I mean, we were just talking about it one day. He was just like, yeah, man, when I came to the military, I was fucked up because of my family.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to that being insulated, too. And just like Joe mentioned is...
And anybody, I know, we in the Midwest. For all our few fans out there, if you're on the East Coast, West Coast, where are you from? If you, the one download we got from Germany or Russia, but I think that's when ADA was in Russia, I think. But
ADA, you a Russian...
Mid-Missouri is much like the deep fucking South.
You're a Russian transplant?
Would you agree, Joe? Like some of those small rural towns. Now, I ain't talking about like Jefferson City. I'm talking about all those little small towns you got to get to Jefferson City.
Okay, but peep game though. Go ahead, Joe.
Ask him a question.
Well, I was going to say that Missouri is kind of a microcosm of the United States.
There
I
we
think
go. That's better.
You have cosmopolitan areas where, you know, there's some liberal ideas that go around. I think the arts are important and that type of thing. You've got some suburban areas where, you know, some well-established, you know, people with money kind of reside and that type of thing. And then you have some rural areas that are, like you said, insulated and, you know, have a very conservative set of values. So, yeah, I mean, there's some parts in Missouri. I mean, I've been quoted on this thing before, calling it Red State Central. You know, there's some parts of this state that are very much like the rural South. But, I mean, I put it this way. I have not seen anywhere in Missouri that resembles my trips through northern Mississippi. Never. I have not seen anything that resembles that. You know what I'm saying? So,
you ever been to Steelville, Missouri?
I've been through a lot of parts of Missouri.
Have you been to Steelville, Missouri, though?
Tell me about Steelville.
So, Steelville, Missouri, it's
I'll pull it up.
It's a little bit outside of Rolla, probably about 20 miles. 20 minutes, maybe, same difference from Rolla.
I put it this way: the last 2 summers, I have driven through Rolla down to, I couldn't tell you the name of the place, but it's toward the I think it's called the Swift River. I forgot. It's this little national park.
You were around Steelville, because that's not Steel, Missouri. It's Steelville, Missouri. Steelville, Missouri is like, they are known. They make canoes down there. What they're known for, and they're kind of around that whole. You take that you can take that little trip down the river or whatever.
Yeah.
My introduction to Steelville.
I've been in the area the last 2 summers.
Yeah, my introduction to Steelville, Missouri was there were 2 canoes. One had a big Confederate flag on it, and the other one had a Confederate soldier painted on the other side of it. And I was just like, okay. And I don't want to say it's exactly like the Deep South. Put it this way, I felt much safer in Rolla, which is still racist as fuck to me. But Steelville is, it's. I ain't saying it's like Mississippi or some of those deep southern states, but it is definitely a touch of the South in that area. If you catch my
drift. I think it aligns with that area.
Yeah,
pretty closely. Yeah, but I mean,
I feel you though. It ain't nothing like Mississippi. You're not gonna get none of that.
It ain't Oxford.
It ain't Oxford, bro. But it is definitely. We can have a show about sundown town some other time, but it's definitely some sundown town type shit going on with. Hey, nigga, make sure you eat your food, get the fuck out.
Hey, speaking about sundown town, you know you're like the first person that introduced me to sundown towns about 10 years ago.
Me?
You're the first person I talked that we talked about that.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what the hell are you talking? And you know what I mean. I read up a little bit about it, you know, whatnot, but ever since then, it's been like, you hear more in conversation.
We trust you niggas enough to work in our homes, take care of our kids, but we don't want you living next door to us. You can leave your children at home with us. We'll take care of your house. We'll do all this other shit for you while you ain't looking at us, but we don't want you niggas living next door to us. So take your ass to this little other town outside the main town, because we don't want you in our town. That's basically the gist of it. I think the history teacher, did I cover that pretty well?
Pretty well.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I forget the author's name, but there's a book called Sundown Towns that he also wrote. Lies My Teacher Told Me.
And there you go with the segue of how do you feel about Green Book and winning in the Oscars?
Wait a minute. Wait, what we doing?
We'll go back. We'll go back to the.
Why don't we stay on point? You know, hopping all around.
Just real quick. How do you guys feel about? You did the award show last time.
But we're hopping all around.
Just real quick. Green Book win. Are you okay with that?
Why are you being so hard headed? Why can't we stay on the task of black friendship, cooning, blackface, ignorance of, statements of, hey, I'm not racist. This one nigga's my friend.
So I mean, just so you guys know, for our listeners, it's not just within our group or media group of this podcast that we talk about this stuff. We have a national representative or a state representative on the national level that's pulling this kind of stunt too. You know, I'm like, I'm not racist because I have one black friend.
But the thing is, though, a lot of people believe that shit, though. And like I simply put a post up on Facebook saying, if you say some dumb race to my Caucasian friends, if you say some dumb racist shit, don't call my black ass. And people work like, what do you mean by this? This is a very simple statement. What do you mean? What do I mean by this? If you say racist shit, I'm not going to be the proof that you're not racist.
Yeah. Yeah. They and like I said before, I don't know if I said it before or during the podcast, but if you can physically count the number of minority friends that you have on some Jeff Foxworthy shit, you may be a racist.
You might be a racist, dog.
If you can enumerate your nigga friends, what is Charlie down at the he fixes my car.
Speaking of today.
Hold on, stay on topic, bro.
I'm staying on top. We're talking about Confederate flag, dog. But this lets you know that motherfuckers know they can plead that ignorant shit. So we ate it.
No. Me and Joe said they could play that ignorant shit, or how far along. But you're saying...
I'm saying there's a degree of ignorance, but you can tell it in their eyes that they know it's wrong.
Okay.
Because this motherfucker, we went to eat at Golden Corral today. I'm sure before because like, he was sitting up, chit-chatting and talking to his kids, whatever. Motherfucker had a Confederate flag hoodie on, nigga. Confederate... Not no like...
A soldier?
No, just the white dude eating at Golden Corral. Nigga, I wish a motherfucker would, dog. Like, nigga, first of all, how you... Anyway.
That's what I was going to say.
So me, Holiday, who's black, me, who's black, sit down. He looked at us. He immediately put his head down, looked at his phone for the next 20 minutes. Did not look up the whole time we sat there.
Was it because of your giant presence? You know...
I didn't say nothing to him.
Or is it just because...
Because he know he wrong, bro. He know that shit. He know that shit's offensive as fuck.
You give him too much credit. I think it's because of your presence.
Well, then, motherfucker, hey, same energy, bro. You know what I've been on all 2019. Same energy, my nigga.
Yeah.
You gonna wear that shit out in public? Soon, because he was talking. Soon as he looked at us, hey, he just head down in his phone. Now he might have been calling his friends up to come get us, nigga. I don't know. That might have been the move, nigga. He might have been. I got two ready to go.
Yeah.
You know?
He was waiting for your same energy, but I guess.
Oh, nigga! I said, man, he had kids, but I said loud enough. I said, this piece of shit here, dog. I don't know, nigga. I was disgusted, dog. Like, you wear this, whatever. Niggas wear do what you want, dog. Do what you want. Just don't. You was very talkative till he looked. You like, huh? Head down, dog. I know it may not mean nothing, but it just seemed real funny before we came over there. You was talking. Now you get head down in your phone.
And okay, and even if it is a sense of pride, it's the South. They
nigga, you lost.
You lost, and you're not American. You're not.
You lost.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but then again, though, that goes with the romanticizing
with this
the South.
We ain't out here fucking romanticizing the Mexicans.
Cause y'all not Americans. Y'all not viewed as such.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I found that interesting. Like, you were talking about if a soldier had on a Confederate flag, because I could definitely see a soldier having some Confederate.
No. They out there. They out there.
I thought he was saying like while in uniform wearing a hoodie.
I was like
uniform. That's what I thought he was saying.
I was like,
well, no. Yeah, because when I went to the.
I I can see a young soldier getting caught slipping.
Nah. Not with our uniform policies.
That like up at like 1990, like early 2000s, there was a lot of pushback, and like you would like go to like barracks and shit and see that shit like that. But there's a lot of like commands that started saying, "Nah, take that shit down, take that shit." Cause you would go shit. You see.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking about it like, nigga, that's a team we literally in our war record have a dub over that team.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
but like
you said, Mexico. Shoot, we had a war against Mexico. You know that'd be like somebody coming in rocking some Japanese shit with their uniform.
Yeah,
you know, or some German shit.
But they don't see it as that. They don't see it as the enemy.
Joe know that.
Yeah.
Joe knows that. That's that romanticizing that shit. Some of them motherfuckers wishing, wow, I wish it hadn't. Hey, what that Confederate States of America? There's some motherfuckers like, ooh, I wish it hadn't gone that way. Did we really have to fight? Did we really have to beat our brothers? But yeah, no, I hear what you said. Now, there's a put it this way. The last 10, I remember, so I'm going on 20 years in. The last 10 years or so, you've seen it, probably 15 years, you've seen it a lot less. Lot less people having that shit on their trucks, especially on post. And I'm sure as Frank was coming in his career, you just see it a lot less. Like when I first came in, that shit was a little more prevalent.
Yeah.
And then like you can see motherfuckers like
flags inside the
flags on the trucks,
the trucks.
Yep.
Decals in the barracks, flags in the barracks,
up on the wall in the barracks.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
so was there some cracking down on that, or?
Yeah, it's been a big crackdown on that.
Yeah,
especially as the like when you talk, because you can't say, well, we're against this one terrorist group, and then you start linking like neo-Nazis, all these motherfucking white supremacist groups and shit like that, and how the rhetoric as far as like that goes. And then like you say, okay, but you're gonna have this flag up on your wall, which a lot of these white supremacist groups fly. You see, we can't really have that in the barracks. Now, understand though, the attitude and the feeling is still there. It's still there, as you know, but a lot of the symbolism, that shit's not like that. That shit's getting
it's less tolerated.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's completely gone, but I say it's less tolerated. It's just kind of like, you know, I know part of us, like we couldn't walk into a government facility, even out of uniform, with like on an offensive shirt, like says like fuck women or fuck faggots. I mean, I'm using that word. I don't want to use that word, but you know what I'm saying, like. You can't walk in with just those shirts you get at that scary store in the mall? What's it called?
Scary Spencer.
Hot Shots or Spencer's or something.
Back in the day, Spencer.
Hot Topic, not Hot Shots. Yeah. But yeah, like I mean, you couldn't. You know, it's just kind of like that. Just kind of. But a lot of it is probably like the leadership that was coming along. Probably was that same mentality of kind of like our generation. You know, there was that generational change in that's happening in commands.
And never forget the social media it plays a big part too. You can't have soldiers rolling up on motherfuckers like, oh, this motherfucker, this I know this nigga's a soldier. He rolling up on base with 2 Confederate flags flying out the back of his truck. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of it's social media. A lot of it's like our generation now coming into command. You know, people. You know. People who are like, yeah, I don't want to deal with this shit. I don't want to see this shit on my wall. I don't want to see this shit on a car parked next to me when I'm going to work every day.
Just like that word I just used, the F word. We probably used that shit when we were young as hell.
Yeah, a few times.
Like loosely.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I don't hear it from your mouth.
No.
You know, unless, I mean, this is like a joke, but even though it's insensitive, but, you know what I mean? It's all in context, all in context.
The only time I really hear is when, like, it's Sergeant Morris, and he's gay, he's homosexual, so
yeah,
it'd be like me and Joe saying, "What's up, my nigga?" And then some white's like, "Yeah, my niggas," and me and Joe be like, "Hold on, pimp, what the fuck you talking about?" That's our word.
But speaking of that, then let's get back to
as we do it. We should start calling this the Tangential Podcast.
So basically, this whole night started off. We're gonna,
Did you call it the tangential? What you call it?
Oh my god!
My bad. I fucked up.
Boom, 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 boom.
Genitals. Bring it back.
Being Women's Month, the
Tangent.
Nicaraguan podcast stands with all women from March 1st to the 31st.
Is that why you like holding balls?
What? Jesus, deep cut.
My bad. Not all women like
Deep
holding
cut.
balls. Sorry.
Anyhow, so getting back to, so I mean, all our listeners, I don't know how many minorities friends you have, and like how Joe said, if you can,
And Nelson, yes, I know you're a minority. Sorry.
you also fantasize about. Not
Wait a
fantasize,
minute,
but
whoa,
romantic.
whoa.
She has I feel, and I don't know if she's joking, but she has a romantic thing with Putin.
Yeah.
But I,
let's back.
Reel it back in.
Back in. Yes, sir.
Anyhow, so our listeners, if you could quantify.
No, we're not gonna.
I can expand. I can expand on it.
Hold up, Putin. What?
I can't speak for her. I'm not going to speak for a woman on Women's Month.
Maybe one day we can have her on the show. She does live here in Topeka.
Frank is not going to do that.
She is a big fan of Putin.
Yeah, maybe I'm overselling it. Yeah. I'm just for a fact, but
How?
I think she's a fan of his rise to power. I think she just finds him to be an interesting individual.
You know how there's some people that I won't say admire, but they study Hitler.
Now does she think he's a good person? I don't. You know what? I can't even say.
I can't speak for her.
Fuck.
I'm not speaking for a woman on Women's Month.
Right.
Hey, Nelson.
She sees him as fascinating.
I think so. Hey, Nelson,
Interesting.
when you hear this episode, you'll see the link for feedback. Email us in, and we'll read your spiel about it.
Shit, I want to see you on the Nicaraguan podcast Facebook page. Post it. Send us your remarks on there.
On the Nicaraguan podcast.
I know she lives here in Topeka. She can easily come to Frank's house and
Just
record.
record.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, but if you're listening to it before you get on with us, you could just hit us on the Nicaraguan podcast, the Facebook page.
No, just hit me and Frank up. We will schedule time for you to come on. How does that sound? There we go. Anyway, what were you saying, Frank?
Anyhow, if you could quantify your minority friends, real quick, or in one hand, then you might be racist. Okay, so we were talking about one of our episodes, Nelson, and her finding Putin interesting. We will try to schedule a time when she comes and defend herself or position.
She had to defend herself. Just explain.
Explain.
Her fascination, how it came to be.
To our one listener, we have Joe is inquiring about your fascination with Putin.
Anyway, so
if you would like to respond for yourself, you're more than welcome.
So you were talking about I wouldn't even say that. If someone calls you racist, and your initial response is, "I have black friends," you might be a fucking racist.
So do you consider me a racist?
But you wouldn't say that. My question would be you should be like, why do you think I'm racist? That should be your first question, not to respond with, well, I have black friends. How could I be racist?
That's true.
Matter of fact, my one employee is my friend. Like, wait a minute, so the nigga that works for you is your friend? You think?
Well, what do you think, Joe? What do you think?
Well, whenever I'm asked if I'm a racist, I tell them, of course I am. I'm a track coach.
Well played.
Hold on. Let's listen. Well, Joe, are you a racist?
No. That's what, we need that NCI. We need that motherfucking NCIS. Wow! Won't be fooled again.
I got that shit.
No. The moment's passed. By the time you pull it up, nigga.
What they don't know, I could splice this shit up.
What you say, Joe?
I study all kind of races. The 4x4.
4x4. Shit.
I heard it. I'm a racist.
I'm a long-term racist. I cover the motherfucking 2 mile. Shit.
That's right. 5K.
5K.
I'm a racist, man.
So why are there no white kids in your track and field?
Because they slow. In the city, nigga. There's white kids in there.
Then we gotta cue that fucking button right there.
They slow, nigga.
You heard him, Joe?
Not in here. What do you say?
I asked him I asked you, why do you not have white kids in your track and field team?
This nigga ain't slow. When the last time you seen a white man win a mother? Ain't since Hitler since a white man run a motherfucking 100-yard dash, nigga. 110 meters, my bad.
I've had a handful. I got one on the team right now. I've had a few.
You got one.
Oh, you got one.
Yeah,
I got one. Nigga.
Cue the CIS stuff.
Nigga said I got one.
on the team, they don't.
What do you run? What do you run? 2 miles?
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
This week one, we'll figure it out.
Here, motherfucker, try to jump over this pole, nigga. Wait a minute, you gotta have a little speed on you to be a motherfucking
pole. You gotta have a little
pole, dog. You gotta have a little speed. Matter of fact, shit, when I ran it, Blue Valley North, our first leg in the 4x1 was our pole vaulter. Shit, you gotta have a little speed to you. But no, that was good. We got one.
Right.
So, cue that footage.
I'm trying to pinpoint it, but I think it's more at the beginning.
I thought you had it up when Meadows was talking that shit.
I think I am.
So anyway,
yeah, he's gonna get into it right now.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna play this clip. Well, anyway, Joe, are you a racist?
Of course I am.
Of course I am.
All right, here we go.
Goddamn track up.
And here we are with GOP Representative Mark Meadows, which apparently in this clip brought Lynn Patton, a black Department of Housing. Oh my God, a black Department of Housing and Urban Development official.
You say HUD. Who's also ran by a black man. Mm-hmm. Why couldn't they get Uncle Ben to come, nigga? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, let's play this clip. And this is that hearing with Michael Cohen.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh shit.
I asked Lynn to come today in her personal capacity to actually shed some light. How long have you known Miss Patton?
Okay, so just so the listener, we are going to provide the link. The video right now is Mark Meadows talking, and right to his left shoulder, over his left shoulder, you have Miss Lynn Patton, where she's in a black and white dress, with sporting a nice weave, with sunglasses holding that weave up.
She basically was at work. They said, "Hey, nigga gal, can you come over here so we can parade you in front of these people so we can prove that I'm not a racist?"
But don't talk to.
Don't talk though. Matter of fact, don't talk. Don't have a seat. That's what fucked me up. Wow. Bitch, just stand there.
All right, let's go. Here we go.
I asked Lynn to come today in her personal capacity to actually shed some light. How long have you known Miss Patton?
I'm responsible for Lynn Patton joining the Trump organization and the job that she currently holds.
Well, I'm glad you acknowledged that, because you made some very demeaning comments about the president that Miss Patton doesn't agree with. In fact, it has to do with your claim of racism. She says that as a daughter of a man born in Birmingham, Alabama, that there is no way that she would work for an individual who was racist. How do you reconcile the two of those, Mr.
As neither should I, as the son of a Holocaust survivor.
But
hey, dog, he wasn't ready. No, Mark wasn't ready, dog. Hey, he's like,
let's go back because you missed it.
She did take a seat though.
Yeah, because you missed it.
No, hey, my nigga Mark.
Why she look like a slave on an auction block?
Dog, it look, nigga. That's what I was trying to say. I was saying on Twitter, dog. But yeah, I mean, there's some other shit out there. She said, other interviews. She said she's a piece of shit. She is all in on this. Her face looks. If you watch the clip, her face is probably because she got a motherfucking brief due or she got some paperwork due and they called her to come in. But she is all in on the Republican Master Trump bandwagon. Don't get it twisted.
All right, but you missed it. I'm gonna play this little 5-second clip thing. You missed it.
Okay.
An individual.
What you say, Joe?
Share the screen.
Oh
yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
Hey, dog, that nigga Mark wasn't ready when he said Holocaust survivor. What?
Here we go.
You're Jewish?
Watch.
Who was racist. How do you reconcile the two of those, Mr.
As neither should I, as the son of a Holocaust survivor.
But, Mr. Cohen, I guess what I'm saying is I've talked to the president over 300 times. I've not heard one time a racist comment out of his mouth in private. So how do you reconcile it? Do you have proof of those conversations?
I would.
Why you have to qualify that shit?
300
times, not one.
I ain't heard him say nothing racist in private.
In private.
But nigga, publicly, this motherfucker be off the chain.
The blacks are stupid for not voting for me. Nigga, but hold on, dog. But like, what?
Why did they zoom in on him, cut her off completely, and told her to sit down?
Well, let's not forget though. We should, you know what? This is our fault, y'all, because we weren't as prepared. But let's not forget, this is the same Mark Meadows who was on the campaign trail talking about we gonna send Obama back to Kenya. Mm-hmm. Let's not forget that. So is that fucking racist? So if you a fucking racist, so we talk. So this brings back what we talking about. I mean, touch like that.
No, you good.
This brings back what we talking about earlier. Being insulated in your own bullshit. So how does a racist know when another nigga's being racist? If you gonna sit there and say we gonna send this nigga back to Kenya on several fucking occasions. On several fucking occasions, you're a fucking racist, but now you're going to be the litmus test for what's fucking racist for me? Nigga, if you don't shut the fuck up.
Your antennas broke. Man.
Your antennas. Oh, yo, bitch, nigga, where's your antennas at when you were saying that racist shit 2 years ago?
He could have been saying this shit left and right, but you didn't pick up on it, man.
You probably like, oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. There's no way Obama could be a nigga because he's a Kenyan. That's not racist. We just stating facts, Joe.
Mm-hmm. That's all I said.
That's probably a talk they had too. Yeah, dog. Fuck it. Play a little more. What are you about to say? Go ahead, play a little more.
Well, at this point, they cut her off, took her off the camera, zoom in on Mark.
Well, somebody must have heard us talking from the future. Somebody must have heard black ass to sit down.
Yeah, right on cue on the Jewish remark too, like on the Holocaust remark too. Right on cue.
They probably had that old black janitor that was like, it looked bad having that nigga just stand there, right? I ain't gonna say nothing though. I'm gonna go back to sweeping the floor.
But let's not forget what else Cohen said. Cohen said the reason she got that job is because I got her that job. Man.
Yeah.
So
and he also said neither one of us should have been working for this motherfucker. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, Michael Cohen he is out there so he can get a deal because this motherfucker lied and got caught. Mm-hmm. And he had no problem buying into fucking Trump's white supremacist rhetoric bullshit as long as his pockets was getting lined. He did not give a fuck. So let's not get it twisted.
For 10 years, a decade.
But it don't make it there's been many a Hispanic.
I mean, for 10 years, I'm not going to give him that whole 10 years. Yeah, for 10 years or 12 years, however long he's been working for the Trump organization.
Yeah, but 10 years in the 2000s. This is after.
No doubt. I got you. I'm saying he was doing that while Trump was a
celebrity,
television personality,
a citizen, a private citizen.
Yeah, he's a citizen. You know what I'm saying? But in the last 2-3 years, where he became candidate Trump and then President Trump, that dynamic changed, man. And telling a lie to a business, adversary or whatever, that's one thing.
Yep.
But then lying to the American public.
Oh, no fact.
That's a whole different level of.
But that's why we're here today. Yeah. That's why he's where he's at. I mean, and just to touch on Winston's point, and I think you too, James. I mean, Joe, you.
God damn it, we just the same niggas now.
Yeah, nah, right. Anyhow, we just fucking.
You fucking racist.
Anyhow, so it just happened to be that it was always convenient for him, and then just now, he's not benefiting from it anymore. You know what I mean?
And that's the defense thing I'm gonna try to say.
That's cynical as hell, and that's what the Republicans are selling. But remember, this dude was very high high up in the RNC. He was one of the card-carrying Republicans. If he's a liar, but y'all made him one chief among you.
No, I'm not.
And we've known he's been a liar for all these years. He's a liar since way back, but we've known that he's been a liar. Why was he high up in the RNC?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not saying he's a liar. I'm saying
he's a liar, but I'm saying to you, just because you lying, that's not evidence that you lying right now.
Right.
Yeah, yes, true.
There we go. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm saying he was fine with the lie and the bullshit and whatever Trump was saying until he got caught.
Yeah. Like how you said, now that you're lying, you're not lying to a private citizen, you're lying to
But that's the bigger
country,
point. That's the
people.
bigger point. Like I think Joe also said is too. Just because he got caught, don't mean he telling lies. I got caught. I don't want like 69 to Takayashi, whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh, he put name.
I don't want to do them years, nigga. So I'm about to tell you all the business.
Give me like 10 grid coordinates and shit.
Yeah. So but like Joe's saying, they're gonna this dude who was entrusted with all this information for so many years, they're now gonna try to say is the dude who should not have been entrusted for so many years, even though he was.
That's the GOP. The GOP is saying that. Yeah. That's what they're trying to play it off at.
Yeah. But he did a good job because he ain't got nothing to lose.
I don't know. I just I'm not so just quick to write him off and say that he's only that pessimistic view. And I know that's a convenient thing to do, and I know it's probably even. I know it's definitely expedient. It's probably even accurate in a lot of situations, but I don't know. The dude kept tapes for a reason, man.
Yeah, I think he kept tapes for a reason because he knew who he was working for.
Well, he kept that. He kept a copy of that check that he produced.
Yeah, he kept that check, and that was from President Trump.
Trump.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not saying. I hear what you're saying. He didn't keep it because he knew one day he would have to tell the truth. He kept because he knew the person he was working for was a piece of shit, and he would have to fucking stand in front of somebody one day and be judged. So that's too.
In the just in case, he turns on.
He's still a piece of shit. He was still okay working for this motherfucker. I mean, and that's cool. That's okay. Once again, as I said it, many people on this podcast have said, I ain't about to question your pockets, but you're not a superhero to me. You just a motherfucker who got caught, and now you giving up the goods. Because if he didn't get caught, if Trump could have kept his fucking mouth shut, if his kids could not be so fucking stupid, he ain't in front of Congress giving this information up.
I think he was definitely. I think he has definitely been pushed by the circumstances to definitely come forward. I don't think it's like the lady who was going against Judge Kavanaugh, where she found out that there was something and her conscience wouldn't allow her to sit on it.
Correct.
I think he would have sat on it if it didn't blow up in his face. True. But I do think since it's blown up in his face, he's gone an extra step. And if he's gone an extra step for, self-enrichment, maybe.
I mean, you're right.
And that may even be a part that factors in, but I think he's gone. It looks to me, it feels to me, it sounds to me like he's gone above and beyond because, the Grinch's heart grew 2 sizes that day or whatever.
You call the nigga the Grinch, nigga? Yeah. Hey, but like what somebody brought up in the pregame, though, that's a good point, though. And we'll tie it back to Ollie North, though, because he could have just fell on the sword and be like, that's like he could have talked to Trump and be like, look, I got this dirt on you, but I ain't gonna say shit. Take care of me once this is all done. You know what I'm saying? He could have did some Ollie North type shit, just fall on the sword.
But he knows his client.
Not even Ollie North. You got what's his campaign manager?
Fuck. Damn. It's so many white men, so many names, bro. I can't remember his names, bro.
Yeah, but
it's so much dirt every day.
The campaign manager was started to come clean, and then he decided, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and fall on the sword and start lying again. So
yep.
He could have done that.
He could have done that too.
Decided to stand up and separate himself from the Trump organization and
Trump separated himself early on from Cohen. He fired Cohen.
We had to though.
Well, yeah, I mean he got pressure too, but
yeah.
But if that's your boy and he's the one,
But it's like he had to do it. He had to fire him, and he could have still been his boy and be like, "Look, I got you on the backside. I can't fuck with you right now."
Who's to say that Trump won't pardon this guy?
Nobody. No. There's no one. Who know what the fuck this motherfucker gonna do? He's in North Korea one day, talking about getting rid of all the nukes, and a day later he's like, "Ah, fuck that nigga. I'm gonna go to CPAC and talk." Who know what he gonna do, nigga? My bad. I mean the desk.
Yeah, I mean, I want to believe Cohen, but at the same time, I mean, I just like how you brought it up, Joe, is, he's doing it now. Like, what is he doing it now for? Is he doing it for self-preservation, or is he doing it to try to monetize and capitalize on this? But
even both of those, he still could be telling the truth. But he's like, if I'm going down, I'm going to get something out of it. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No. I mean, and they asked him point blank, "Do you plan on writing a book?" He was like, "Yeah, I would definitely pursue a book deal." So I mean, I don't think we ever thought that he's a Republican. Yeah. He's about capitalism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I definitely wouldn't put him past him having that being a part of his motivation. But I just get from listening to him speak and hearing what he has to say that he genuinely felt like there was some slime ball stuff going on. And he tolerated it while it was on a small scale. But when it grew to the point where it was, beyond the scale that he was accustomed to, I don't think it's that well with him. So.
Yeah.
No,
that's
I agree with that.
But that's that. What I always say is, right is right, wrong is wrong, and do, like Winston says, I'm not gonna question the man's pockets. You know what I'm saying? But, but and you said something about the speeding ticket. The speeding sign. If you don't know the speed, doesn't justify your speed.
Yeah, but I think like a ticket for that.
But I think like we kind of touched on, and Joe pointed out specifically, like it was kind of like some small ball shit. Like we got a TV show, we making some deals here, we doing some deals there. We fucking got some shady motherfucking it's some land here, some bullshit building deals. We gonna file for bankruptcy here, so we ain't gotta pay niggas here. That's one game. But when you talking about we working with Russia, nigga,
and then lying to the FBI and all that.
We working with Russia to win an election. Yeah. That's a lot, nigga. That's a lot different than filing for bankruptcy, so we ain't got to pay. Alleged. Fuck, sue me, nigga. That's a lot different than we gonna file for bankruptcy, so we ain't got to pay some undocumented workers, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you.
Which, by the way, build a wall, but.
Oh my God, though.
Up until a couple months ago, undocumented workers at them golf clubs.
Oh, come on, man. And by the way, where's the second wave of caravans that's trying to invade the southern border?
Man, we knew what it was. Come on, bro.
Sometimes you just gotta walk away.
The same way.
Sometimes you just gotta walk away.
The same way. It just so happens the summit had to end the day after the Senate hearing. With Cohen,
the art of the deal. He said sometimes you got to walk away.
He knew it. Whatever, man.
You mean that the intelligence community was correct on this all along?
I mean, there's always a game within that too, though. But we ain't got to discuss that. But whatever. Anyway, the bottom line is, if you say racist shit or somebody calls you racist, please don't call upon magical Negroes to come and save you from your racist shit.
Right, but okay, so I want to hit up on this other point. Okay, so among us three on this podcast right now,
right?
We at least Joe said it, and I'll say it too for the record. Cohen, and what I've heard in this hearing, there is a genuineness to what he's saying. You know what I'm saying?
He's a man with nothing to lose.
But we want to believe that, right? As in the position that we're in.
I don't know so much I want to believe.
We do listen to it with our own biases.
Right.
I will admit that 100%. We do listen to it with our own biases. We may want that to be true, so it sounds more sincere.
Yeah.
I don't think he changed anybody's minds in that hearing.
But
I don't think he changed anybody's mind at all in that hearing.
I don't think he did, but I think there's a lot of it exploited a lot, it exposed and exploited a lot of holes within the Trump world.
But you saw what I said on Facebook. I mean, it's a spectacle. And me and Joe kind of discussed it. We kind of see it a little differently. I don't know what comes of it or what. I mean, I think we're both on the same mindset. We want something to come from it, but I think that's where we kind of like take our own paths. I don't know. Maybe I should say I don't know what comes from it or what's going to happen of all this. He basically shed some light on some shit that we already knew or thought for the most part. And I will see you niggas in 2020. That's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even with my own bias, I'm like, I don't.
But you hate humans, and you've been on record saying you hate humans.
I do hate humans, dog. I think. I mean, it's.
And Cohen is a human, and fuck Cohen.
When I say humans, I think like for the come on, y'all. I'm speaking very broadly. Like you, Joe, James, 10 meters. Like the people I fuck with, I love. I love y'all, but as a whole, dog, we ain't shit. We're for the most part, we're selfish. We want what we want. We do what we got to do to get by and all other crazy shit. We fuck people over. All this other shit. But I like y'all. You know what I'm saying? But if I can have an island with just me and my niggas and we podcast and we do shit and we fucking drink rum out of fucking coconuts, I'll be fine with that. But that ain't gonna happen. So there we are.
Why the fuck? Why do we gotta drink rum out of coconuts?
Nigga, I'm coming on the island. Nigga, I don't know. It's what came to mind. I don't know. But like, yeah. But like, if the people I fuck with, but everybody else, they can all die. That's fine. I don't give a fuck. What?
Anyhow, so here we have Mark Meadows. That another rant tangent too. Yeah. Just like you were saying, Joe. I mean, I share that sentiment too. Is like I have to be cautious that I know I'm gonna hear with my own biases. He's not gonna change my mind. He anything, he might reinforce a couple things. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying. But like you're right though. People are gonna listen to this, and did he change? The real question is, did he change enough minds? I think that's the real question. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he changed one. I don't think he changed one. I think he might have reinforced some stuff. But I mean, shoot, the Republicans came in with the liar, pants on the fire defense, man. Yeah, they went to Kinko's.
Pretty much.
It had a poster made up with his picture on it to say liar, pants on fire. Man, I think if you are a conservative and you listen to his testimony, you can easily dismiss everything with the fact that he is a convicted felon.
Mm-hmm. I did hear that argument.
He has already lied to Congress once.
Yep.
And so you could easily dismiss everything that was said because of that. You know,
my new commander did that today.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He was just like, that guy's going to jail. I was like, who? Trump? He's like, no, Cohen. What do you mean Trump? Why would Trump go to jail? I was like, because they both liars. What do you want me to say? This motherfucking shit.
Yeah. So I mean, I think you could definitely listen to that, but he definitely came to the hearing understanding that, and he brought receipts with him.
Yes, he did, and I think that check from Donald Trump and his actual signature.
But what about Lindsey? You know what Lindsey Graham said though? Why would you write a check if you was gonna break the law?
Jesus, dog. Hey, PR firms are making their money right now, bro. They are making their money right now.
I think
on both sides. I think on both
sides.
sides.
The biggest thing is I liked his composure, though. That was like, because a lot of people get up there, they get flustered, all the questions, all the other shit. He had some pretty good composure.
What you mean? Everybody that's on Trump's side is flustered? Well, we just had the hearing with old Kingpin looking ass boy. I forgot his name.
Who, Kavanaugh?
No, not Kavanaugh. The one that's the interim.
The AG?
Yeah, the interim AG right now.
That motherfucker, he can answer.
Oh, he lost his cool a couple of times. I saw that one.
Even Kavanaugh lost his cool.
And
I like Bear.
And
who doesn't like Bear? Like, he became a Saturday Night Live skit, nigga.
These are his own. No, that's what I'm saying. Like these are all Trump backers. You know what I'm saying? Cohen.
It's like we already talked about it, though. We already talked about that shit.
But anyway, so
he basically lost his. He basically lost his shit at his job interview. Pretty much.
Yeah, he's sitting in a lifetime appointment. But anyhow,
let's not talk about that. Nigga.
So anyway, so we get back. So the original conversation was bringing a black woman to one black woman, the optics of I'm not racist because here's a friend of mine that I just happened to pick from one of the departments. Anyhow, so we'll listen to it a little bit more. Listen to Cohen rebuttal or whatever.
Do you have tape recordings of those conversations?
No, sir.
Well, you've taped everybody else. Why wouldn't you have a tape?
That's also not true, sir. That's not true.
You haven't taped anybody?
I have taped individuals.
How many times have you taped individuals?
Maybe 100 times over 10 years.
Is that a low estimate? Because I've heard it's over 200 times.
No, I don't think. I think it's approximately about 100 from what I recall. But I would ask
so
you,
why would
you ask me a question, sir.
Do you have proof? Do you have proof? Yes or no?
I do.
Oh, where's the proof?
Ask Ms. Patton how many people who are black are executives at the Trump Organization, and the answer is zero.
Mr. Cohen, we can go through this. I would ask unanimous consent that her entire statement be put in the record.
Without objection.
All right, let me go on a little bit further. Did you collect $1.2 million or so from Novartis?
I think that's the whole point, because I think they're moving to something else now.
But I like that he's like, very simply, ask her are there any black executives in this organization. Oh boy, we're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna yada yada yada, nigga. Let's go on to this other shit I want to talk about. I mean, he was well prepared. Whoever he's an attorney, right? By trade, right?
They took his license.
But I'm saying he's not a practicing attorney now, but by trade he's an attorney. So you can tell he's ready. He ready for the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
He ready for the bullshit, dog. Don't get flustered. Don't let them see you sweat. Don't get loud. They gonna try to overtalk you. Stay on point. So he said, you probably taped everybody. No, that's not true. Maybe 100 people. I heard it was 200. No, it's approximately 100 people.
They said, I know it's 100.
I might have you on tape, nigga.
All right, so let's see about this 1.2 million that he collected.
Who isn't?
I did.
For access to the Trump administration?
No, sir.
Why did you collect it?
Because they came to me based upon my knowledge of the enigma, Donald Trump, what he thinks.
So they paid.
Sir, please let me finish.
No, did they pay you $1.2 million to give them advice?
Yes, they did. A multi-billion-dollar conglomerate came to me looking for information, not something that's unusual here in D.C., looking for information.
The shade, nigga. The shade.
Look at his eyes, too.
And they believed that I had a value.
So how many times did you meet with them?
Was the insight that I was capable of offering them.
How many
times? They were willing to pay.
How many times did you meet with them? For $1.2 million, how many times did you meet with them?
I provided them with both in-person as well as telephone access whenever they needed.
How many times? Yes, sir. That's a question, Mr. Cohen.
I don't recall, sir.
So did you ever talk to them?
I spoke to them on several occasions, yes.
How many?
I just told you, nigga. But that's why I hate watching those things, because it's all fucking spectacle. All of it.
I think Mark Meadows is I get the feeling just by watching and looking at his posture and how he's acting, he has to be in the inner circle of like, yo, who how many times did you talk to them? How many times did you record him? Because he might be caught up in this bullshit. It's
an oversight committee. As far as the Republicans go, they have to do their best to discredit this man and sour him, make Michael Cohen look even more of a liar than he's already been admitted to. So it's all fucking spectacle.
I just want to say Michael Cohen was like, just that whole, like how his comment in DC comment. I think that's like letting him know, like, yo, I got you, bro.
How much? We don't have to watch this whole thing. It's just, I don't know. I guess we can finish it. I don't care. But it the bigger point is a man. Because we talking about my bad. I didn't mean to clap on the microphone like that. My bad, Joe. We talking about bring your black friend to work day, and the nigga who said we gonna send this Mr. Obama back to Kenya is the man. But this is how blind they are or insular they are to their own fucking ignorance. They could have had any other motherfucker bring this black woman up to make this same point, right? But you bring the motherfucker who said we're gonna send Mr. Obama back to Kenya is the person that you chose to bring this black woman. I don't know if they had a say in it, but somebody should have said, "Hey, Mark, not you." Because remember,
you may not be the one to prosecute this case.
Yeah, because remember on 2 different times when you said we're gonna send Mr. Obama back to Kenya, yeah. They gonna bring that back up on Twitter, nigga. It ain't gonna be pretty. And guess what they brought back up on Twitter less than 12 hours later, nigga?
Yo, peep game. I'm reading the rest of the article.
Yeah.
So just reading on it, being the token black person in the audience, this writer says you could almost hear some people's jaw drop when Meadows asked Patton to stand. Patton, though, like Meadows, rejected the idea the move was racist. She says she never intended to speak for all black people. That she was not a prop and the Democrats played the race card. But she was brought up by GOP.
She was brought up to the but that's the thing, that's the
But she also came and said, I didn't know I was gonna speak.
But she know who butters her bread though. She know what it is though. She know who butters her bread. She didn't bought in. She didn't sold in. She can't backtrack now. She been the stooge for the Republicans for a hot minute. She can't backtrack now. What you think? Candace Owens? What? 2 years now, Candace Owens is gonna be, hey, let's go Bernie, let's go Democrats.
She did what she did 2 years ago with Trump.
But she's so deep. But that's when she wasn't known. Okay. That's when she didn't have any traction. All those videos of her shitting on Trump didn't come out till after the fact when niggas was like, wait a minute, hold up, bitch. Wasn't you the same bitch that said fuck Trump and fuck the Republicans 2 years ago? But now you 10 toes deep in this shit. So they know who butter on their bread. She ain't gonna sit up there. Of course she gonna come up there. She can't say no.
Yeah.
Man, fuck her though, man. Fuck her. Fuck everybody her.
I told you she was on the auction block.
Nigga, on the auction, nigga. But the thing is, she was up there willingly, nigga. She said, let's make the auction block higher. I want everybody to see me.
Like you said, man, she know where her bread is.
She know her bread, brother. It's like...
We all got a price, dog.
Who? Self-preservation.
I know we all got a price, dog, but they call my black ass. Hey, Roger, you come down here to prove that President Trump ain't racist? Hey, man, I can't do it, nigga.
5.5.
My kid.
5.5 mil.
My kids get out of daycare at 4 o'clock, nigga. I gotta pick them up, nigga.
Well, shit, you gonna have all day. You ain't gonna need no daycare.
That's what I was at. 5.5, dog. 5.5.
You're gonna be at home with them.
Nope.
Okay, so Joe, 5.5. 5.5. You in or no?
Well, I know you 30 pieces of silver, man.
Hey, listen. Wait, hold on, but I'm asking you first, because you know.
You ride with Judas for 30 pieces.
Drive with Judas, nigga. Get up.
Hey.
Get up on that cross, Jesus.
Hey, my man Judas, and not to sound insensitive though, but he was like 30. All right, you right there.
And then hung himself after the fact.
I guess I didn't read the Bible.
And then hung himself after the fact.
I don't know.
They leave that part out though, right?
I guess.
No, he did.
He did?
No.
Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, I don't.
No, I know Joe knows, but I'm saying, do you know the back part of it?
Because I don't read that. I don't
need to know the part of it. Is, yeah, he sold everybody out but then he killed himself.
He certainly did.
He killed himself. That's what I'm saying, though. It ain't worth a fucking enough, bruh. I still gotta look at you. I gotta look at this nigga Joe. I gotta look at James.
But I could understand.
No, I gotta look at my fucking kids and say I stood up there.
I'm playing the devil's advocate.
I know you are, but I'm saying though, I know you're joking. But
Hey,
there are some people out there who have a fucking price, and I'm saying this. End of the day, you gotta look at niggas in the eye and say I did this.
This is that we've talked about this countless of times, and we're gonna continue saying, yeah, my name.
But
is
real
30
talk though,
pieces.
I'm gonna need 20 million. But I'm just joking.
I mean, shit, man.
Don't get me wrong.
5.5. I'm gonna entertain it. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna call Joe. I'm gonna be like, yo, hey, see, the Nicaraguan podcast got a salary now.
Nigga, how we gonna? So we're gonna be on here talking CPAC? We're going to CPAC? Nigga, that's what I'm saying. It strings are attached to this, nigga.
We're gonna be like the new Candace Owens show.
Oh God.
Hey,
cause soon as that coon ass cop get it from
hey, so who's gonna be Officer Brandon?
My
bad. Who's gonna be Officer Brandon?
Not me, nigga.
Oh, I hate. Officer Tatum. Officer is it Brandon Tatum? Brandon Tatum.
We'll let Anthony be Tatum.
Oh,
I mean 10 meters. My bad.
Now, I don't know. I mean, we joke. I joke too. I still have to. I'm still friends with you. I'm still friends with, with people on this podcast. I'm friends with other people. At the end of the day, you're right. Like, I have to respond for my actions. The money may be good initially, and don't get me wrong, it'll help a lot.
Where's Sheriff Clark at?
The what?
Sheriff Clark.
Where is he?
Where is that nigga at?
Was he at the CPAC? I didn't hear no one.
Nope. Because when they done with your ass, they done with your ass.
Yeah, because he's not even a sheriff anymore, ain't he? He's not a sheriff or the head, the commissioner.
He had that fake ass degree.
Was it from DeVry?
Well, DeVry is an actual school.
But I'm just saying, I don't know.
He had that Mackey, that Brown Mackey master's degree, nigga. They said, hold on, nigga, that's not a real degree, nigga.
So what? So
Brown Mackey ain't got no master's degrees.
Hold on, you never answered the question, Joe. You just deflected.
What was the question?
He had 5.5
5.5.
Should you sell out or should I?
I'm asking. No, would you?
I mean, it does lead you to question, but it's still in the day. I'm like,
and I have to make an outrageous amount of money because obviously for $1,000.
But 5.5 ain't like outrageous, nigga. I'm gonna need go away forever money, nigga.
5.5. Okay, I'm not gonna defend, but 5.5. You can't live.
I can live.
You can't live.
You're not here when
you cannot.
You're not. Hey, nigga, I'm the trail.
If I give you 5.5,
hey, nigga, I'm the trail spree well seller now, nigga. I gotta feed my family, nigga.
But you gonna tell me that 5.5 is not sufficient for?
Nigga,
I said you said creating
nigga,
wealth.
You don't listen well.
You can pass that on to
you.
Your
don't
kids,
listen well. I said I need go away money, nigga. Not live money. I need go the fuck away money. That means y'all not gonna see me no more ever again.
But how many 5.5 million people do you see?
What? There's a lot of niggas make $5.5 million, niggas. You see, I probably work with a nigga that make $10 million a motherfucking year every day. Dr. Lackeretti.
I can say I don't work.
I got several doctors I work with that probably make. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess for me,
I know.
like I don't.
I worked for one, Dr. Ray, Dr. Ray Lackeretti, the two competing electrophysiologists in this area, both are head of their own separate heart institutes.
But they're probably Republicans too, so they sold out.
No, Dr. Lackeretti hate motherfucker. He's a Democrat through and through.
Okay.
Now, Dr. Reddy, I don't know that much. We don't talk as much. But,
right, but even then, it was
we broken bread.
Even then, it's 50-50. So 50% sold out.
But he's not. But
anyhow, 5.5 to me.
Hold on. But voting Republican and being brought up on stage to sham for Donald Trump are two different things. Also, now you starting to as Joe would say, you're muddying the waters a little bit here.
I'm not muddying them. 5.5 is just to buy into his
5.5 to vote for as a Republican.
Not Republican.
That's different than 5.5.
I didn't say Republican. I said what
But you said
what Lynn Patton's doing, what Diamond and Silk are doing,
I know,
and what Candace Owens are doing. I'm not talking about voting. I didn't bring that up.
Nigga, you said who's a Democrat, who's a Republican.
No, I'm saying though it's 50-50. Like one that you know is a diehard Democrat, and the other one you don't know. So we have to assume that it's the other one.
Yeah, but they both could hate Trump, and one could be. We talked about vote Republican, conservative because of your pockets. So if I get $20 million. I might vote Republican.
So 5.5, then you now are in that category of the next. You're not in the 1%, obviously, but you are well above.
You're not in the 1% with 5.5.
No, I'm saying that you're not in the 1. You're not in the 1%. You're not in the 1%, but you're definitely up several brackets.
I don't get what your point is, though. I've already said that I'm going to need more than 5.5 million.
5.5 on the other side of 5.5, you're taking care of.
I know, that's what I'm saying, though.
No, Candace Owens getting more than 5.5 though.
You're straying. How do you know she get more than 5.5?
No, she's getting more than 5.5.
How do you know that?
She has to be.
How do you know?
Well,
you assume as much.
I'm assuming. Yeah, I want to assume.
She was shitting on black people for nothing.
Ugh.
At first, so why would it take 5.5 million?
I don't know.
She was a blogger with a YouTube channel shitting on niggas. Mm-hmm. Am I wrong, Joe?
I don't know. I don't know.
She might be doing this shit for fucking hand jobs and bubblegum sticks, nigga, for all we know.
Well, you know.
Pro bono.
Pro bono. And emphasis on the bono, nigga.
There it is.
You gonna say how much she worth?
I mean.
What did you say?
300. Nigga! You seen this, Joe?
Can't see it. What's the
nigga?
Wait, hold on.
They say that bitch worth $300,000. They gotta be a lie, dog.
Winston. $300,000. $300,000.
Nigga,
you selling out? You going Candace Owens?
I might think about
never go Candace Owens.
I might think about slapping you for $300,000. That's it. Hold on, dog. It gotta be a misprint, dog.
Candace Owens net worth. Well, when's this article? Hold on.
Nigga, she's selling out niggas.
August 25th, 2018. So we'll see how many. I don't know how many deals she closed.
It ain't no 5 million, nigga.
Oh, last updated February 27th, 2019.
Nah, she's selling out. She's selling her soul, nigga, for motherfucking stank weed. And stock options and motherfucking FUBU, nigga.
No, did you see this shit? I think it's still $300,000.
Nigga. Dog. Come on, dog. Let's
go.
Come on, let's go. Let's go with something different, dog. Fuck her.
Never mind, though. It's that 5 point. Anyway, 5.5 is probably not enough.
I'm trying to tell you, dog.
What is go away money? Before we.
Nigga, I'm talking about I'm gonna need at least 20. I'm gonna need. I'm gonna need Colin Kaepernick come out of retirement and deal with the bullshit money, dog. He asked AAF. He said, "I'll come back for 20."
Mm-hmm.
Cause you know he gonna have to deal with.
But he got 60. He got 65 though already.
I feel what you're saying, but he didn't sell out for that though. He kept his same shit.
There's a segment of the community who says he did.
No.
Okay.
They said he did. That's fine.
Okay, yeah. Let's clarify that. Yeah.
They said he did. I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either. But at the same time,
I mean, I will go ahead.
There's
a
vocal minority who believes he sold out for that.
Can you see the argument though? I guess.
Can
you understand the argument though to that?
I don't.
No. I'm just saying. I'm just asking. I'm just asking. I'm not saying.
I don't. If his thing was, I'm not going to participate in this event until certain things are met, how did he sell out? That's my question to that segment. Because I know, and Joe can play devil's advocate. That's fine. But as he already stated, he doesn't think he did. I know we've talked about it. I don't think he did either.
I don't think he did.
So what I'm saying is, he never once said, I don't want to get money. I don't want to get paid. He said, I don't want to participate in this event and get paid. Well, he didn't even say, wait a minute. He didn't even say, I don't want to play football. He just said, I'm going to kneel. I'm going to kneel. And then from that, the NFL say, we're not going to hire you anymore. So once again, people champion him to be for some cause that he never said that I am part of.
So what do you say to the people that would say you signed the NDA, you can't disclose the information, like how or why
you're mixing up a dispute with an employer and employee with a political, which once again was something that you're making him the champion for something that you want him to be. He's saying, I have a grievance with my employer and I have been compensated.
True. Yeah.
Two different things, in my opinion. He never once said, I don't want to play football. He just said, I'm taking a knee. Matter of fact, he said, I will play football if niggas will put me on their roster, understanding that there are certain things I'm going to do. So how did he sell out? That'd be my question to somebody who said he did sell out. And I bet what you hear is with this, and that. I'm like, nigga, that's your political agenda, not his.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, there are people who wanted to see it through. They were committed to, I'm not watching games until he's employed. I mean, I feel like, people wanted him to be, like you said, more than what he signed up to be.
Yeah. Once again, checking pockets. Everybody wants you to give up everything for a political agenda they believe in, while they go to work for somebody who don't give a shit about the political agenda they believe in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Overland Park Regional Medical Center don't give a fuck if niggas is kneeling, getting motherfucking concussions, getting whatever the fuck. They don't care. So should I stop working for them? Should I stop feeding my family? Once again, it's easy to check a nigga's pockets when they ain't fucking with your checkbook. And that's what white, I say niggas in a general term. But that's what people do. It's like, as long as I'm getting paid, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I'm cool to tell you, you shouldn't go play football until they blah 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 this and that. And then what happens is once the NFL does that, then they keep moving the field goal post.
Yeah, I think good. I think the compensation portion of it, it's not. That's what it is. It's just compensation for a grievance. But I think,
and once again,
I think the NDA, signing the NDA,
know how much money he got. It's still speculation because it's a fucking NDA. Everything you've heard about how much he's been paid has been what people think.
No, the amount, the financials has to be reported. I mean, it has to be reported to IRS.
Where?
It has to be reported.
It hasn't been paid out yet. So how do we know?
I'm just saying, though.
But if it hasn't been paid out, it's all speculation at this point. That's all I'm saying, right? True. Am I wrong? Do you know something we don't know, Joe? Do you know something, Joe? At this point, it's all speculation.
I heard 60,000, and I didn't have a reason to doubt it. Yeah. I mean, I think
60 million
wouldn't necessarily.
No, I
have to go to we understand that if there's a agreement made, money is paid out. So
right. No. I agree. It's money paid. Go ahead. My bad.
I don't think that needs to be some sort of state secret. What they want to remain secret is the collusion.
Right.
That the evidence of collusion that he had that would made his case. They don't want that to get out. So I mean.
Well, widely reported.
Yeah, it's widely
reported.
So be it.
There it is. It's protected by the confidentiality agreement signed.
But All I'm saying is, to those people who say he sold out, even if that nigga got $1, they gonna say he sold out.
But that's the grievance portion and that's compensation portion. That's just if you file agreements against your employer,
because they going by
you're gonna get compensated.
Because it goes by that.
But I think the NDA, signing the NDA, and keeping it all hush for however long a period of time, whatever the NDAs are, however long they are. I mean, I think that is what looks bad because if you truly had evidence, that evidence could help another player.
Who?
I'm just saying it could help the next one. You know what I'm saying? The next one to take up that mantle. What I'm saying is somebody else, do you think that someone else will do what Kaepernick did? I mean, the compensation portion of the fight, whatever, but
in the NFL?
In the NFL, I don't think they will because of there's no actual. I mean, we can still speculate because you know what I'm saying.
But you can come from the other side of it and say that if you make a strong enough case, you'll get paid. Because all Kaepernick got to do is show motherfucking Peterman still on somebody's roster, throwing motherfucking 20 interceptions in the game, and be like, case in point, nigga, I rest my case.
Yeah, and there's others like emails and all that shit too.
Well, I'm saying, but you can look at the current talent pool, and there's also emails and this and that too. I get it, I got that. Yeah. But I'm saying is, I hear what you're saying, but the other side can be shown that the NFL is willing to settle.
I guess it's like, okay, so how effective is this message now? And I know we're going off on a tangent again and going into this, but I guess my question will be to you all, and I pose it to you all.
Are cops still beating up niggas and shooting niggas in the back?
How effective is this message now, even after the quote unquote settlement or the supposed
So what was his
settlement?
message?
He's kneeling down for injustices that are occurring at his workplace.
Is he in that workplace?
No, not anymore. No, but I guess what I'm saying is like, how effective is the message now, or I guess the perception of the message now?
But the thing is, the message has been, the settlement. The message has been so fucking ran through the dryer and tainted, and people who didn't want to, who purposely wanted to sully and throw smoke and fog, whatever the fuck word you want to use on that message. It's become something totally different. Now it's about the troops, and it's about the flag, and it's about respect the country. When all he was simply saying is, police shoot niggas in the back. I don't like it. I'm gonna take a knee.
Yeah.
So once again, like, and he's still out there giving his money to causes that he deems worthy, and he's never been an outspoken person anyway, really. So. I think he's still doing the work that he set out to do. And he's left behind this legacy of being, I don't know, call him a martyr or whatever, but he did give up his career for the most part for what he believed in. So, I mean, what else more do you want him to do?
Take it to court.
Huh?
See it through.
What you say, Joe?
They want him to see it through. They want it public, man. They want blood.
Yeah. But then like you and I both know, well, a lot of these niggas, it's never going to be enough.
Yeah, that's true.
But if he's, change happens when the masses move.
But
you know what I mean? But it has to start.
But there was a change. The NFL did feel it in their pockets. Well, I mean, what were the numbers?
Did they though?
Overall, they're still a multi-billion-dollar company, but as far as like viewership and people watching games, that declines. But it also coincides with like CTE and all that other shit like that.
Yeah, but sponsorship monies are not paid out on a monthly basis or per view basis.
I understand that, but it's a yearly thing. So if your numbers continue to dwindle and decline, you're not going to have that same sponsorship every year. Come on, man. Why am I giving you money for a sponsor if the people who I want to watch who need to watch my commercial ain't watching no more? But once again, though, it also goes like you see reports now, like you got NFL players saying, "Well, I don't want my son playing until at least the 8th or 9th grade when their bodies are fully developed." You know what I'm saying? So there's also his message. Kind of like did a good job of like it wasn't purposeful though, but like kind of going hand in hand with like traumatic brain injury and all the shit we see happening with NFL. But then like so the NFL in their attempts to lessen these violent hits have made football almost something different than what a lot of people want to. The people who are still hardcore fans want to see. So then they start to fall out of love with it and want to go watch something else also. So you see that viewership declining. Yeah, the yearly payout for sponsorship has happened.
Yeah, but the viewership came back though. I mean, for a couple of weeks it went down.
Wasn't the Super Bowl like the numbers for Super Bowl were down this year? Correct? Am I correct?
I don't know. I would have to. I don't know what the numbers
I believe they were. But for several reasons though. Also,
but again,
nobody wanted to see. For the most part, nobody wanted to see the Patriots, and people thought the Saints got cheated.
But people people bought the expensive ass tickets.
Well, people always bought
companies
tickets.
bought the commercial airtime.
Yeah, but that's already paid for to begin with. Though.
That's what I'm saying. It's
we're going to repeat ourselves. If the viewership is down year to year, if it's a downtrend in that viewership, you're not going to get those same sponsorship dollars every year.
So I guess what you're and I don't want to speak for you, but I guess what we're trying to say is Kaepernick took it to the farthest that he could.
I mean, once again,
within the NFL, whatever, within the rules, within the playing field that he had in front of him.
He had a grievance with his employer. His employer compensated him what they thought was a fair amount, and he agreed. What more do you want him to do?
But so then is it fair for him to play to put himself down as a pioneer of this movement? As like the
if he wants to, he will.
Like what are those? Yeah, but I guess people want the
once again
wants the athlete or whatever to be the icon of that movement of that era. Because they keep saying they compare him to like what Jim Brown. Like Jim Brown was doing.
Jim Brown kept playing football and beating up women. Let's keep it real. Jim Brown kept playing football and beating up women, and now niggas like, oh wait a minute, he been conservative all this motherfucking time. This nigga show up at Trump's White House with Kanye, halfway asleep and half dead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess on the compensation and the grievance portion, I see. I mean, it's hard for me to argue against that. But as far as
niggas was cool with him taking that Nike money though.
Yeah.
And Nike splits their bread 50-50 amongst Democrats and Republicans. So why was that cool and not the other?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still rocking Nikes too, so.
And then once again, we start getting into these motherfucking agendas. Child labor laws, slave wages, all these things like that people want to tout. But then he took all his money from a company that's notorious for employing child labor to make their shoes.
True.
So, I mean, all these agendas happen, but niggas only get focused on the thing that they care about. Fuck your agenda. Fuck everybody else's agenda. And now I'm mad because he didn't see my particular agenda through, even though it wasn't his fucking fight to begin with. He's like, I have a grievance with my employer. So we back to that point again.
I guess on the grievance portion, yes. I guess going forward, what his message is going to be. How much weight do you think that's going to carry then going forward? His message.
His message.
Because
he's been a silent. He's been a pretty quiet dude who gives his money to fucking charity and causes he believe in.
But he's. we live in the social media and the exposure stuff.
But he ain't in that.
But how long is he gonna be in that?
Once again, you want him to be a certain way.
No, I know. I'm just saying, people tend to be in the spotlight,
and for the most
it's hard to run away from the spotlight right now. It's hard.
He ain't running away. He's just the dude that fucking gets suits for homeless people.
No, I get that, but eventually a TMZ sports reporter is gonna catch up to him and ask him.
They've asked him questions before, and he's been in front of cameras. He's been asked questions, and he answers the questions the way he wants, and he goes about his business. Okay. I'm not saying,
but I guess how is the NDA gonna affect how he responds now? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I believe he's on record saying I had a grievance with my employer. I think
right, but so how carrying forward his message of standing up for what you believe.
All he can do is keep being the same dude he is, which I believe he will be.
Right, yeah.
And that's up for society and niggas and white people to then go to decide how they want to accept it.
How they want to accept it, okay.
Because the homeless dude that need a suit is still going to get that suit and going to take it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The communities that he gives money to that need that money still going to take it. So what, you going to shit on them because they money coming from an NDA? Where does the fucking agenda stop? I just want to know.
Yeah. In the words of Marlo Stanfield, you want it to be one way.
But it ain't that way.
You want it to be one way.
You want it to be one way.
But it's the other way.
Hey, the Wire has so many quotables though.
Jesus, dog.
Hey, that Cohen trial, dog. That's when my man, the hitman, the gay hitman, when he was in court
Omar,
yeah, he's of course say, hey, we all got like you kill him with the briefcase, I kill him with the gun, or whatever the fuck you said. So many quotables.
Stay with some lies, boy.
So many quotables.
Well, it's
2 hours. I think it's 2
yeah,
hours.
it's about that time. We could end it with what Joe said. I mean, we could wrap it up already. Final thoughts.
You, Joe?
Yeah, man. Nothing profound to say. Just wrap it up, B.
I mean, wrap it up. I mean, that's 2 good quotables right there. Closing out on the Marlo quote and on the wrap it up B is always good.
Yes.
Frank?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you don't have another story for me to follow up behind you, because shit. I can't do that.
Well, you just get
no,
game,
man. Joe.
I ain't want to hit you too hard with it.
Hit it with that
No.
game.
you ain't got your sea legs back, so.
Yeah, let me slowly walk in. I'm not at full.
Not full game.
Full game yet. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But yeah, no. Hey, Women's Month. You know, we open up with AOC.
We're digging the crates, find some more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll kind of try to. I don't know. We'll see how. We'll try to kind of do the same thing and special of like, just like how we opened up with like a Black quotable, Black History quotable. And we'll try to find some on the women's side, and maybe get like a white woman too that's out here for the cause and whatnot. But yeah, man, Women's Month.
I know one, but yeah.
Take care of them. Encourage them to take care of themselves. Yeah, every day, not just in this month.
Jesus. Yeah, good. I mean, good discussion. Definitely to our few white listeners out there, if you find yourself in a situation where you said something fucked up, please don't call your one black friend to come vouch for you. Okay, don't do that shit. That's fucked up. Because now you put that black person in a very precarious position to where they got to fucking sidestep their blackness to speak up for your racist whiteness. So let's not do that. Let's not do that at all. But anyway, closing out here. James, Andy couldn't be here, but they will be here next week. That's a good discussion. You can find us. So we started talking about this. Like, feedback is good, because how do we know if we're doing the right thing, if we're going in the right direction? So your feedback is not only needed, it's necessary in and in. So you can find us on Facebook at the Nicaraguan Podcast. Also on Twitter, Nicaraguan_pod. And I think we're the only Nicaraguan out there in the Twitterverse. So once you start typing in Nicaraguan, you will find us. And also hit us up on Instagram, Nicaraguan_podcast. You can find us on all your social media, anywhere you get iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spreaker, any place you get your podcast from, you can find us. So all feedback is needed and necessary. We greatly appreciate it. Yeah. So we're closing out. Good show.
Yeah, iHeart and Spotify.
Like I said, any place you get your media from.
Just you know what? Just do this. Just open a Google browser, type in Nicaraguan, and we'll probably be like the first couple hits.
Yeah, we should be.
We should be,
because if you,
well, that's a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And watch the BBC and the Bukakis and
yeah. If you're on Pornhub, you're not typing Nicaraguan, because we will not show up there.
If you're in the back pages, you typed something wrong.
Anyway, man. So like I said, feedback necessary and needed. Nicaraguan Podcast, I-70 Connect, 30 Pieces, Joe Jeff, half of the Twin Powers, the Brothers of Doom. I'm the KC Stork. Thank you for your time, and as always, enjoy the music. James.